a half-hour animated retelling of the Nativity story. Sounds good to me. Hello YouTube, Film Buff 06 here, coming your way with my last video for this year, which is a very brief review of the most recent animated retelling of the Nativity story on Angel Wings, which was adapted from a children's picture book of the same name that was written by Michael Gambon, who is also responsible for writing Warhorse and Private Peaceful, which were both subsequently adapted into films, was broadcast on BBC One on Christmas Eve 2014, was a project that took a whole year to make, and was written and directed by Dave Unwin, who had previously worked on Father Christmas, which was based off of the Raymond Briggs story, the Raymond Briggs story of the same name, and an animated TV movie adaptation of The Wind in the Willows in the late 90s, as well as a sequel to it called The Willows in Winter, I think it was, as well as episodes of The World of Peter Rabbit and Friends and Horrid Henry. The film also features the voice talents of Sir Michael Gambon, who obviously best known to Harry Potter fans as Professor Dumbledore, as well as to Doctor Who fans for his guest role as Kazran Sardik in the 2010 Doctor Who Christmas special, A Christmas Carol, Juliet Stevenson, Dominic Cooper, who played Amanda Seyfried's fiancé in Mamma Mia, and was also Howard Stark in Captain America the First Avenger, and also Colin McFarlane, who played Commissioner Loeb in Batman Begins and The Dark Knight. The story of On Angel Wings is, it's basically the iconic nativity story, but uniquely told from the point of view of an elderly shepherd named Amos, voiced to perfection by Sir Michael Gambon, who recounts to his grandchildren the story of how, as a young shepherd boy, he became the actual first visitor to the newborn Christ child before the other shepherds, with the help of the angel Gabriel, voiced by Dominic Cooper, who flew Amos all the way to Bethlehem, despite Amos being initially instructed by the other shepherds to stay behind in order to protect their flocks from being eaten by jackals and wolves. So, what are my brief thoughts on Angel Wings? I thought it looked visually beautiful to watch on the small screen. The classic nativity story pretty much everyone knows by heart, especially at the special time of the year known as Christmas, whether it is, acted out in primary school halls, told in churches and or out of churches, heard about in traditional carols that are sung, pretty much everywhere, from the highest street to the nearest supermarket, or seen on some of the Christmas cards that we constantly give our friends and family every December. I mean, even if you are the most cynical and jaded person on the planet, you normally think that the story and the message that it conveys is just repetitious and boring as hell, because it has obviously been told, retold and adapted a countless amount of times, every December since the beginning of time. But if you listen to the story and think about it really closely, it is a very human, very poignant, very universal, and very crucially important story about how one simple miracle brought peace and goodwill to our world. The animation, as I said before, is just beautifully well drawn in a similarly simple style to Antoine de Saint-Exupéry's, I hope I pronounced that right, The Little Prince. Dave Unwin does a pretty decent job with adapting the source material. The voice cast all do a really nice job at voicing their roles, especially Sir Michael Gambon as the narrator. His is a voice that is literally made for narrating a story, on the same level as the likes of Sir Patrick Stewart, John Hurt, Anthony Hopkins, David Attenborough, and heck, even Morgan Freeman. I mean, Dominic Cooper as Gabriel, though, I just found to be a little bit irritating and a bit bland at times. The score by Julian Knott, who is probably best known for his scores to the Wallace and Gromit movies, adds to the atmosphere of the piece wonderfully. The film also tries to, recapture the same magic as The Snowman by incorporating a flying over hills scene where, Gabriel flies Amos off to the farthest reaches of space, shows him what planet Earth looks like, tells him that the world is full of people that are greedy and selfish, which is pretty much the case nowadays in this day and age. and explains to him that that is the reason why the new king is being born. But in my opinion, it doesn't quite reach the same level of quality as the snowman. Also, for a little animated movie that only lasts half an hour, it goes by pretty quickly. I mean, making you feel like you've watched it for only 10 minutes instead of 30. It is that quick. Now, if you didn't tune in to BBC One on Christmas Eve to watch On Angel Wings, and you really want to feel the Christmas spirit one last time this year, at the moment I'm recording this video, you can catch up on it by watching it on BBC iPlayer. That is really all I have to say about this movie, really. So in conclusion, my overall rating for On Angel Wings, it's a 9 out of 10. Now, feel free to leave a comment in the section below and let me know your thoughts on Angel Wings. That is, whether or not you tuned in on Christmas Eve to watch it. Plus, feel free to subscribe to my channel. And until my next video, which is going to be a review of the new Victoria Wood musical, That Day We Sang, with Imelda Staunton and Michael Ball. Do take care, everyone, and see you in January 2015. Happy New Year.